Hello and welcome. You're watching News of the World on youtube.com/NDTV. I'm Ankita Mukherji, and today our focus is going to be on the global spread of the novel coronavirus, now known as COVID-19. Now, India, after a long break, has actually confirmed 2 new corona positive cases. Today, Health Minister Harshvardhan, holding a press conference just a short while earlier, spoke about these 2 new cases. One in Delhi for the first time, the second one in Telangana, also a first. Remember, the 3 earlier cases were all reported in Kerala. Well, Dr. Harshvardhan said that the latest detections take the total number of coronavirus cases in India to 5. This after the first case, as we said, was reported in Kerala. The government said both the patients are stable and, of course, they're being closely monitored. The person from Delhi has a travel history from Italy, while the one in Telangana has a travel history from Dubai. Remember, Italy is now the worst affected currently in mainland Europe, with a sharp spike in cases as well as the number of fatalities. And the other person who is currently in Telangana has a case of travel history through Dubai in the last 2 weeks. Dubai also now reporting some cases. The health ministry said people should maintain hygiene, wash hands properly and avoid going to crowded places. The health minister also said that the Prime Minister was now personally also closely monitoring that situation. India is also setting up 15 laboratories now that are working to fight the coronavirus, or COVID-19 as it's being called, and 19 more will be set up. But globally, what are we looking at? Well, we're looking really at a global outbreak of the disease. The WHO has now, in fact, increased the monitoring level, the global risk assessment of the new coronavirus to the highest level possible after the epidemic spread to sub-Saharan Africa as well. Earlier, that was one entire region that was completely unaffected, and people were speculating that it might be because of the temperature and the weather conditions there and the virus not being able to thrive in those climatic factors. But currently, Antarctica is the only continent which does not have the coronavirus. Right now, it is spreading across every other continent in the world. So, the global death toll from the outbreak has now crossed 3,000, and this comes after dozens of new cases, new deaths in China, and cases have soared around the world, with a second death in the United States as well. The virus was first detected in China in December last year. It has now been detected in as many as 60 countries globally. That's 60 countries, and it has infected more than 88,000 people. Well, India has been relatively fortunate. Remember, groups of Indians who had come from China, from the Wuhan province, which was declared the global epicenter of that outbreak, were quarantined for several weeks. Some of them are still under observation, but the remainder of them, when they tested negative for coronavirus, they were sent home. The virus proliferating now around the globe. So what do we know right now? Well, Indians are still at risk in some areas. At least 400 or 500 fishermen are currently stranded in Iran, and Iran is one of those countries which has now closed its airports and is monitoring. It's one of the countries where there's been a sharp spike in coronavirus cases recently, and these fishermen, largely from 2 Indian states, Kerala and Tamil Nadu, have been sending SOSs to the government saying, please evacuate us from Iran. Apart from them, there are students from Kashmir who are in the Iranian capital of Tehran, and they have also been appealing to the government to get them out of there. And they say that the longer they stay there, then the more they are at risk to COVID-19. So that's as far as Iran is concerned. In Italy, as we said, it's the big new place in Europe which is showing a number of cases, and in fact, even the Pope, who has obviously had a cold or something, has in fact announced that he was not going to take part in a spiritual exercise that he does every year at the beginning of the month of Lent. And of course, he doesn't have a positive case of the coronavirus or anything, but he's just taking abundant precautions. So that's as far as Italy is concerned. So let's talk a little more about the fishermen who are stranded on boats in coronavirus hit Iran. And let's just try and get that open for us. All right, that doesn't seem to be happening. Anyway, we'll leave it at that. But there is, of course, the whole business end of all of this. China's factory output now down by a record 40%. In India, no imports from China has meant the pharmaceutical industry is hit. The markets are clearly impacted by the negative sentiment of coronavirus, and that is going to be a source of worry. The auto industry, lots of auto parts come from China as well, and the auto industry, already seeing a slump, has seen a further decline because of the coronavirus impact on the economy globally. All right, so these are some of the various developments around the COVID-19 outbreak. We'll continue to get you all the latest on that. Remember, the WHO has already said that it hasn't yet peaked, and it might do so in the days to come, and it certainly seems right now as though that point might well be very close at hand. As we said, we'll continue to track this. Thanks for watching News of the Hour.